gotta be kidding me. He times out and takes Tom Brady, who I was trying to build that Russ Gage, Leonard Fournette. This draft is off the rails. I'm not saying it's going to get canceled, but this draft is definitely going to get flagged by Underdog. There's absolutely little to nothing that I can do to be happy. This draft is completely out of my control.
He's a legend.
So I signed up for a Best Ball Mania draft on Underdog Fantasy. This is the big tournament, $10 million. It's got $2 million to first if you win the playoffs. It's got $1 million to second place, $1 million if you're in first place at the end of the regular season. Massive best ball tournament if you're into that. We drew the third pick in this draft, which is somewhat unique for me. I've gotten a couple of 1 and 2s. I have not gotten many 3s. Most of my drafts are sitting in this range, like 6, 7, and 8. And then I've got some at the back end of the first round. So drafting from this 3 spot, it's going to be a little different. The question is, who's going to fall to me? Because people have been getting a little bit, Chad asked, do you even know how to draft from the 3 spot? No, never have, probably never will. Just take CMC. Yeah, he's probably going to be there. We'll see. I have the rankings from Establish the Run uploaded onto this one. You guys can click the link in the pinned comment down below. Worst spot, 3? Someone took 7 QBs in your draft. Yeah, it happened. We're off to a flying start. Mr. Glass has already hit auto. Cooper Kupp at 2. Yep, we're going Christian McCaffrey at 3. I'll take McCaffrey there. I could have gotten frisky and taken like Jamar Chase and tried to build like a Bengals stack. I'm going to build past that. This is the first draft you've watched this year. We've already done a few. Lamar Jackson at 4. Well, we're flying. We're already off the reservation with Lamar going at 4. Here, I'll put this up so you guys can kind of follow along a little bit easier with the draft board. Everything else has been pretty much standard so far. Eckler 7, Diggs 8. We're going to see who starts to look for specific correlations as they go around, as the picks go off the board. Having the draft board up is probably a little bit, guys, I think. Used to do mocks like this, but your group is so non-standard, it's awful practice. Hard to simulate family. Yes. So, like, I don't try. I just want to know where stuff should go. I'm not trying to predict my friends or my family if, like, I don't really do those drafts anymore. But, like, I kind of need to know what plan A is going to be based on where I sit. And then, you know, that will also let me know what plan B I have to set myself up for. You don't think the Jackson guy gets Andrews? Watch him draft another quarterback. Or, like, maybe he's a Baltimore fan. Who knows? A lot of things can happen. CeeDee Lamb at 16. Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon at 14 and 15. Mark Andrews goes at 17. Totally foiling Lebowski's plans, if that was his. But, like, you could add Lamar in the 5th. So, like, why? You know, I gotta make sure I get Lamar. People are really starting to galaxy brain Bateman incoming. Yeah, or Dobbins. Or another quarterback. Like, anything is on board right now at the 21 pick. Like, here, show me. Debo after DeAndre. Mike Evans. I'm going to go Saquon here. I'm drafting an awful lot of Saquon. There we go. This is just for everybody who can't draft the injury-prone running back. Can't draft him. He got injured last year. This is for you guys. This draft is for all of you. Suck it. Right here. McCaffrey, Barkley, 1-2. I'm going to win the $1 million for the first 14 weeks. We're going to capture all of it right here. I kind of feel like there's something I can do. And I don't normally draft like this, so I'm going to draft this style right now. Typically, if I start McCaffrey and Barkley, I would go for Keenan Allen in this spot. Would usually be my next pick. I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette. 3 running backs, very robust, high T draft. Like a whole lot of testosterone going around, but all 3 of them extremely big time running backs in terms of usage in the passing game. What even is this? I have to put a robust running back draft out there. I have to do it. Done at running back. Do you draft another running back is the question. So I'm not going to draft another one for a long time. I am not going to draft another running back for a long time with this draft. What kind of made this decision for me to start this way was this pick right here. Because anything can happen in that draft. So my robust running back drafts, I typically wait until August. It is June 21st when we're drafting. And I'm going to make some different choices because most of my drafts are hero running back, you know, the bell cow and chill philosophy. Sometimes I go 0 running back, but I think that you have to mix it up. And once things go off the reservation, I'm more likely to do something different myself because this is already going to be, or could possibly be, a pretty unpredictable draft. Now, MPV for MVP is a good drafter. This guy has a experience badge as well. So I know that there are a couple of names in this that I recognize, and we'll see now what I can kind of build from there. But now I can focus on taking the rest of the players, stacks, wide receivers, correlated plays that I want, and then do all the other things. But if you have not checked out the must draft running backs video that I did rounds 2 through 6, Barkley and Fournette both on that list. So for me, getting both of those is a big win. Guys, I did want to take a second to let you know about all the great products they have over at establishtheRun.com. Go to smizzle.tv/ETR. There's a link right down below in the pinned comment. You can click that link and you'll get 10% off of any of the great products at Establish the Run if you are a new subscriber. If you are wanting to get in on their early bird fantasy special, which includes the DFS bundle and the off-season best ball package, season-long package, it's $249. You get 10% off if you use promo code SmizzLife at checkout, or just click in using my code smizzle.tv/ETR. Go check out all of their stuff. It's what I use personally for my rankings for best ball, and I love their content during the DFS season. So join the crowd. Go where you got to get the best information that is out there in daily fantasy over at Establish the Run. Getting Christian McCaffrey, I think, is a win. The reach for Jamar would have worked to get T. Higgins here. Jamar, Higgins, and then take Burrow somewhere in here, 4, 5, 6, lock him up. So a Bengals stack would have definitely worked in this draft. The other route that I was going to go when I said normally in this spot I want to take Keenan Allen would be to get Justin Herbert on the way back. That wouldn't have worked. As you see, Herbert went right here. The Chargers stack that I do kind of like is if I'm going to go Chargers stack, I'm going to go all out, which would be if I'm drafting up in here, 5, 6, 7, getting Eckler, then reaching a little bit on Allen, then getting Mike Williams in this spot here, and then Herbert typically would go here. First 4 rounds, all Chargers, buy that entire offense and go from that point. And just, there's no problem in best ball tournaments with putting all your eggs in that one basket and attacking through there. DJ Moore sliding. Like, I don't really want to have that stack, but if I'm going to get that sort of a discount at ADP on DJ Moore, you know, I'm not looking to stack Carolina. They do have one of the better pace up situations in the playoff weeks, 15, 16, and 17. So like there is upside there if both stay healthy, and the possibility that they upgrade at quarterback from Darnold to like Baker Mayfield, that would solidify that. But like the value here with a full round later is pretty solid value in my opinion. George Kittle, he's not going to leave me Waller. There's no way. There's no way he's going to leave me Waller. Yeah, there goes Waller. So now my tight end decision has been made for me. I have to wait a little bit longer at that position. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is a good value in this round based on the position that he's at in the offense that he's in. Chris Godwin might not be ready at the beginning of the season. Gabriel Davis is an absolute stud, and I would buy him all day. Allen Robinson, also somebody that I would prioritize there. Those would be my 3 choices that I like most in that particular draft spot. Dalton Schultz going early there. Not shocking that Lebowski is the one that reached. God, I like Ezekiel Elliott, but he reached on Elliott. He definitely reached on Lamar. He reached on Dalton Schultz. What are we even doing? Last round Baker? Maybe. We'll see what the quarterback situation kind of shakes out as. Tight end panic buy? I mean, look, if Waller was available to me here, I would have taken Waller. But I didn't think that he was going to give. Juju versus Gabe is interesting. Yeah. Both in tremendous offenses. Both playing fast paced. I think both are fantastic. I would have preferred Waller and lock in that final thing. Kittle going earlier as well. I was thinking of I thought I was going to get Kittle in this spot. And then I would have gone with maybe Ayuk around here and then Trey Lance down in there. J.K. Dobbins and Rashad Bateman going to one and only. Amari Cooper, Brandon Cooks. So now I've got to start focusing on a little bit on building some stacks and correlation with what I've got. Because it's not going to be easy. My most clicked player in this range is Elijah Moore. I'm not really buying Drake London in that spot. I understand how much volume he is going to potentially get in that spot. I get it. Not thrilled. Just not totally thrilled with drafting him there. Yeah, he stole my whole flow, Drake. Word for word, bar for bar, the whole thing. Wilson, I believe that MPV took Cortland Sutton earlier. People are kind of sliding in this draft. It's interesting. Treylon Burks, I think, is going to keep sliding, especially with the news from their beat writers that he should open the season as their number 3 wide receiver. So he's going to fall a little bit more. Amon-Ra St. Brown there. 66 ADP. Who's the biggest values right now? Elijah Moore, Smith, Jalen Hurts just went right there. There goes Elijah Moore. Kadarius Toney. 2 picks before us. One of them is somewhat unpredictable. There goes Drake. DeAndre Hopkins' value is really difficult to gauge. So is Michael Thomas's. Hopkins, you're not going to have for the first 6 weeks of the season. So you're almost punting the season-long prize unless you like hammer Lebowski with Rob Gronkowski in the 6th. This draft is off the rails to the point where like it's going to get flagged. Like this draft is going to get flagged. I'm not saying it's going to get canceled, but this draft is definitely going to get flagged by Underdog. I've already had like 1 or 2 get taken away. Smith, what do we pick? 74. I'm going to reach a little bit. I'm going to reach a little bit and lock in Russ Gage here. Let's bring back the list. They take them away. When it gets flagged, the fraud team takes a look at it and they see if there's any sort of correlation between specific drafters, the way that they draft when they're in drafts. Why do they take them away? Because of fraud. They're not going to allow their big time contests for people to try and game the system, you know, and dummy draft. Pretty cool of I mean, it's necessary. Yeah, it would get a draft will get removed for shenanigans. That's a good way to put it, Chai Gel. It's like I've already had like 2 get dropped this offseason. I have like all the slot receivers. I've got Juju, I've got Hunter Renfrow, I've got Russell Gage, DJ Moore. I kind of wanted to get Jalen Hurts here and then come back in this spot with Devontae Smith and then maybe get, you know, Dallas Goedert here was my thinking. But once Hurts was off the board, that was out of the question. Portland Sutton, yeah, taken here. I would assume that they're going to go after around the 12th to 14th round. They're going to go after Albert O. Miles Sanders, one of my favorite later round running back picks. Antonio Gibson, I think, is going to do well. Also, Edwards-Helaire. Running back run here, but we don't have to worry about it. So as everybody else is going to spend their picks here trying to lock up 1 running back or 2 running backs to get themselves to a spot where they feel comfortable, with this robust running back draft, I don't have to worry about that, at least not at this point. Just started drafting on Underdog, way sharper than DraftKings. Well, yes. Underdog is built its base up with people who want to draft best ball drafts. That is how they started their site. That is why people came to their site, because it was made by formerly the people that started up the draft app. And so people take it more seriously. Also, I think that their platform is a lot better. Ayuk was the other player I was considering in this spot. So like their UI, their GUI is a lot better. Their graphical user interface is a lot better on Underdog. Their app and app process is a lot better to draft with. It's just more user friendly, where DraftKings is a sports book and DraftKings is a daily fantasy site, and best ball is not their primary focus like it is on Underdog. So all of the draft rooms and everything else comes secondary, and maybe even third now. Trey Lance goes here. Dak Prescott at 84. MVS, run on Kansas City players. Lebowski now in front of me. 1 pick to go. There's definitely 1 player that I want in this spot ahead of any other player, and he could very well take it. You've got to be kidding me. He times out and takes Tom Brady, who I was trying to build that Russ Gage, Leonard Fournette. This draft is completely out of my control. This draft is completely out of my control. There is little to nothing that I can do the rest of this draft. There's absolutely little to nothing that I can do to be happy the rest of this draft. The team that drafted Lamar Jackson in the 1st round times out and takes Tom Brady right out from under me. I like the individual pieces on my team. I like the value that I've got them at on a lot of them. I dislike everything else that's happened. Saw that coming, you looked at ADP? That's what I was looking at too. I was hoping he would actually make a pick and just not time out. So now I'm just drafting a random team because my correlation is going to be super duper low, right? I'm just not going to have a lot of correlated players. Almost hope this gets flagged at this point. Yeah, this is the no. Couldn't even get the correlation that I was going for there. Then he drafts Ertz, his 3rd tight end. Trying to think of like what quarterback correlation I can build in. I can certainly build in Trevor Lawrence correlation, Zach Wilson correlation, Daniel Jones because of the Kadarius Toney pick. I've been wanting to get Aaron Rodgers Lazard stacks with Tunyon, but I haven't gotten them yet because Lazard is climbing. Lazard you saw go in like 70s in this draft. I mean, I'm not going to force it. Jones makes sense with Barkley too. Well, and that was my goal, was to get Brady here and then Jones like in here, you know, and maybe get Galladay or somebody else and Shepard and build the double stacks around them. Robust tight end is the new meta. Yeah, this is an absurd. It sucks for me that he timed out. Run on tight ends. There goes Dawson Knox, Zach Ertz. Aaron Rodgers, was that the team that drafted? No, it was not the team that drafted Lazard either. Yeah, he's going to go 4 QB. He's going to take Jones. And he's going to take Baker. What type of role do I see Cordero playing this year? Same or more involved as wide receiver? So Cordero Patterson's role changed in the middle of last season. The beginning of the year, he was involved in the passing game and involved in their inside the 10 package, but was not on the field for more than like 30 to 40% of the snaps. So like he was very lucky in terms of touchdown variance at the beginning of last year, the first few weeks of last season. And people were like, oh, wow, look at how well I'm doing with Cordero Patterson. It's like, yeah, you are, but like it's not sustainable. Then they boosted the amount of playing time that they were giving him. And by boosting the amount of playing time that they were giving him, you would think, wow, they're still going to use him in those touchdown situations. They're still going to use him in the passing game. They basically turned him into a between the tackles guy and stopped throwing him the ball. And it didn't make any damn sense. Like, expand his role on the team, get him up to like 50, 60% of snaps, but throw him the ball. They just, no, the assumption of rational coaching tends to get us in trouble more often than it does not get us. Fast Willie with just a hero running back look that he built here. Javonte Williams, Patrick Mahomes, no other correlation. Sorry, Marquez Valdez Scantling, I guess. Okay, so they left me Galladay. Awesome. Harrison Stevenson in back-to-back rounds for the same person? I didn't recognize that. Is that what he did? See, now I don't do that. No shade on this drafter, but like, I don't want... Best ball is about capturing as much ceiling as you possibly can. It's about capturing as much ceiling as you possibly can capture. And in order to do that, you have to allow yourself the opportunity at ceiling players. You have to allow yourself the opportunity to draft ceiling type players. And when you're taking two running backs that project as, if both stay healthy, as a 40% of snap guy and another 40% snap guy, you're capping your ceiling. Because for one of them to become a 60 to 70% snap guy, the other guy has to die, you know? So I will draft a backup running back. You know, we call them the 40% guys who already have 30, 40% of the snaps and touches at running back, and they are one play or one injury away from being the guy. I'll take that guy when there's a massive ADP gap. Last year, it was Cam Akers was in the second round, and Darrell Henderson was in the 11th round and was clearly already going to have a role. So that was the guy that I was heaviest on around the 11th round before the Cam Akers injury last season. But it almost doesn't make sense. I'm not big on drafting, you know, a backup running back. You don't really have a place to stash. You know, you need as many guys active every single week of the season as you possibly can get. Have I seen percent making the past first? Hold on. I need to. Anchor running back for Underdog led the way at 19. Yes, I know. Also, it is a 1-year sample size. Told you he was going to draft Albert O. Reaches to get his stack. They've got like a full Denver stack at this point. So Russ Wilson, Portland Sutton, Albert O, Melvin Gordon. Like I said, sharp drafter. They spoke at a boot camp a while ago, back in the day. And running back and chill, bell cow and chill, that hero running back drafting style is my preferred drafting style. That is the way that I was drafting last year. That's the way that I still prefer to draft this year. But I have to put different, as I'm making content, I have to make a lot of different styles for you guys to find something that you like. Difference between robust and hyper fragile, same thing. Two different ways of saying the exact same thing. And I'm going to go Irv here. Irv, I believe, is one of my highest drafted players. Love Irv Smith this season. Michael Carter, like him as a RB4, somebody that you can draft late. Robust running back, I really only means that you're drafting heavy running back early, where Davis there. I've been drafting Corey Davis a lot this offseason. You guys who've been following my drafts that I've been doing live, I do a lot of Corey. I've been clicking Corey Davis a ton this offseason, and I believe that Establish the Run recently came out with an article that is saying, hey, you guys should be drafting Corey Davis's ADP is ridiculous. So, like, I could see his ADP moving from the 150s to like the 130s or 120s. I think my days of clicking him around 150 to 160 are gone. It'll be interesting to see how that kind of ends up. Josh Palmer's another player that I think is, in this range, at that 150 range, really solid. 3 wide receiver, though, as opposed to Davis, who I believe is their 2. Obviously, they drafted a rookie, but he's going to be behind Moore. He's going to be behind Davis. Davis is a solid professional running back who does exactly what you need him to do. This team is kind of shaping up. Quarterback is not going to be great. It's probably going to end up being a 3-quarterback team with 4 running backs. Not worried about Wilson Berrios bromance. I mean, he can have all the bromance he wants. If Berrios isn't on the field, he's not going to throw him the ball. Berrios exploded when they had nobody else to throw to. Oh, I see your JK now. It's on the next line. Like, he exists because the other guy doesn't exist. He existed last season because nobody else was there. Marvin Jones, you can see why Jacksonville becomes one of my favorite secondary stacks. One, they're playing like very up in pace during the playoff weeks. And you're going to get a guy like Marvin Jones who's going to be on the field a ton. around there. Christian, around like the 14th round. Christian Kirk going around the 9th round. Trevor Lawrence going somewhere in this range, right? The 12th round. You can get your QB2 if you pay up for a QB1. You can easily get that there. So like Parham is a late last round pick tight end. Fine. I don't know why Everett moved this far up. He was an 18th round pick for a while. He was a guy who was clicking a lot late. Best ball always gives the QB heavy teams the most projected points. Yes, it does. Because quarterbacks basically project for 275 to 420 points. And they just add them all up. They just add up all the projections. And sometimes rookies have a projection of 20 points. They're not going to have 20. So like, pay no attention to the projection at the end of the year. Like, there's no regression that's going on there. There's no like, well, this is the potential average at your starting positions. You can draft 8 quarterbacks and have the highest rated team at the end of a draft because you have just the most quarterbacks. Thankfully, he didn't take Daniel Jones. So there's my correlation. Jones to Barkley to Tony to Galladay, right? I've got a Giant stack. So, go Giants. How high is Jamar Chase been going? Top 5. Sometimes he slides to 6. There was an article talking about Everett being used on, I don't think that's why he jumped from the 18th round. I think people just kind of realized that he's going to be the tight end in a Herbert-led offense, more so than anything else. Go New York. So I got 2 quarterbacks that I believe have solid upside that don't have conflicting bye weeks. The issue is I only have a kind of a single stack here with Corey Davis, but I'm not all that fussed about it. I don't know if I had the chance to draft. No, Moore went before me when I drafted Renfro. Getting screwed out of Tom Brady is what really hurts. Because having Brady and Jones or Brady and Wilson is a lot different. Go Giants is a scary chant. It is. Matt Ryan in the 15th. He's really jumped. First in the 15th. He's really jumped. Yeah, it sucks when an auto draft kills your stacks. Watson in the 15th is way better gamble than when he was going in the 10th rounds. I believe I read something this morning that said that all but 4 of his cases have been settled now. But that doesn't mean he's going to escape punishment from the league. You swore off slow drafts last year? I love slow drafts. And the other thing is, in slow drafts, people tend to queue up players, so you're not just going to get the auto pick of the highest ADP guy. Kind of crazy that there were 24 of them. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, and like there's an awful lot of smoke. What are you going to do? NFL image is greater than verdict? I mean, he's settled. It's not a verdict. Him and his team have made a money decision that we need this to go away. Yep. Settlements will have no... Exactly. That's what I'm saying. No settlement is going to have any impact on any decision that they make regarding his case. Raheem Mostert, or Mostert. That's going to be the last running back that I draft. I know he's got the same bye week. I'm drafting talent in that spot. And basically what I believe is going to be the starting job. Now, I could go a couple of ways. And I'm going to go, I've made up my mind. I'm going this way. I could draft somebody like Nico Collins. I could draft the tight end, Brevin Jordan, and then take their quarterback in the next round. But I'm going to gamble a little bit. There goes Mechie. I'm going to gamble a little bit. One, on the stack that I have and another player's health, right? If I'm drafting McCaffrey and I'm drafting Barkley and I'm drafting Mostert in a super hyper fragile approach, I'm also going to take a chance on Shepard and his health. And he fits with my Daniel Jones stack, which leaves me 1 Baker Mayfield if he makes it back to me 3 picks before the end. Give me all the Giants. I believe in the coach. I believe in the pickup and pace. I believe in the pickup of downfield throws. I believe that Saquon has been ridiculously unlucky in terms of the last 2 years in his... I really like Zamir White as a final running back on a lot of these teams. Gronk retiring? Nobody knows. I've been clicking a lot of Cam Brate in the last rounds. Did you miss today's Prism box opening? I wouldn't say you missed it. You didn't see it, but you didn't miss anything. Yeah, it was broke. Oh, it just broke? He's retiring? Where? Breaking. Rob Gronkowski tells me he is retiring. The future first ballot Hall of Famer won 4 Super Bowls while earning a spot on the NFL's 100th anniversary team. All-time great. Hangs him up at 33. Well then, what about the tight end rookie? Tight end rookies do not perform. Well then, that might change everything. Remember a couple of weeks ago when I was saying you need to be drafting Cam Brate in case? Yes, Lebowski, thank you very much. Thank you very much for, well, not for, he took Gronk early, but then also, I want to see if somebody drafts Brate here. Every slow draft you have, if you're past round 12, you need to draft Brate now. If you are drafting a slow draft, there goes Cam Brate. Somebody's on Twitter. If you are drafting a slow draft that is past the 12th round, Cam Brate is the man. Stream Sniper? No, he's just watching Twitter or ESPN or anything and then saw it. This ADP, mark it. Write it down, chat. 210 was Cam Brate's ADP. This is going to fly. Yeah, we all get push notes. Here comes Lebowski. Watch him draft. Good, he didn't draft. I'm going to take Baker. Let's gamble. Baker Mayfield giving me a third quarterback. Obviously, he has the same bye week, but it does not matter to me. I have cover in that bye week, and I now have possibly Carolina's quarterback to go with DJ Moore and Chris McCaffrey if that trade occurs. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.